On number 1, you should have x is equal to 9. So you can check that. Oof, let's see. Oh man, I'm running out of room. Sorry I didn't give you a ton of space. I lost the y. There it is. Number 2 is tripping you up. Skip to number 3 for me and try it. Okay, at number 3, I should see you distribute the 2. Do I distribute the 2 to the negative 5? No, 'cause it's not in the parentheses, right? So I distribute, and then I bring down the negative 5, I bring down the 111. Oh, yeah. See, I told you you can count on me to make mistakes in the 5th hour. Nice. Starting off strong here. Okay, so that should be 14. Yep, 2 times 7. That's good. Okay, that'd be better. So 14. Sorry. And so then you should, after you add 1, because we're trying to get rid of that subtraction, it's out in front and it's negative, that counts as subtraction. So we are going to add 1, and let's fix this and make it negative 14y. That's what you had. You're right. Okay, and now we finally divide by negative 14 and get what? Negative 8. Yeah, check your signs there. You have a positive divided by a negative, so you should get a negative answer. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is number 2, and then we'll get into some examples that are a little bit more obnoxious, or awesome, I mean. Okay, so 6n plus 30 is equal to 2. Don't panic. You're going to subtract 30 and obviously get a negative number, right? Which I know in geometry you don't do a ton of negatives. Welcome back to algebra. In geometry, a lot of things end up being positive because you have just like angle measures and stuff. That's not the case here. So now we're going to divide by 6. And if you were to type this in your calculator, which you always have my blessing to try, negative 28 divided by 6 is negative 4.6 repeating, right? Yes. I don't want your decimal, ever. Unless we're doing word problems, which happens like 3 times a year. So we're going to take negative 28 over 6, and that's our answer, but it can be simplified. If you have a cool calculator that does S to D, then it will automatically convert it to a fraction for you, or Desmos does that as well. Or you can just think about what can 28 and 6 both divide by 3? No, not 3. 2? 2. Okay, so we get negative 28 over, not 28, guys, man, I am so sorry. Negative 14 over 3. Because we have to divide both the top and the bottom by 2. Okay, let's talk then about the steps here. When I'm solving an equation, the first thing we always look for is what? You know it, you can say it. What's the first thing you look for? Or what do we do first if we have it? Distribute. Yes. The first thing we do if we have it is we distribute. That's if you got parentheses, you got a number on the outside, you multiply it, right? So that happened on numbers 2 and number 3. What happens after I distribute? What do I check for next? Combine like terms, yes. Or you can say simplify if you want. I usually say combine like terms. That doesn't mean that you always have it, but if you do, you need to do it. Okay, at that step, we haven't had any of these yet, but then you would need to move your variables to one side if you have variables on different sides, okay? Should I written smaller? I should have written smaller. Oh well. Okay, move your variables to one side, and then the last thing you need to do is solve. At this point, it should be a 2-step equation, right? Which I'm hoping, since you're in Algebra 2, we have mastered this. We did 2-step equations all the time in geometry. Okay, let's look at number 4. So we're just going to check our steps here. Do we have any distribution? Nope. Do I have any like terms? Actually, no. If you would have said yes, I would say to you they're on different sides, so no. If it helps you, remember this from Algebra 1 maybe, you can draw a balancing line down the middle to help you out. And now we do have variables on both sides. You can do what you want, but I usually move right to left so that the variable's on the left side. I see minus 6a. How do I undo it? Add 6a. Both sides. That cancels this out. And you're left with 16a minus 7 is equal to 21. At this point, you have a two-step equation. What goes first? The 7. So add 7, and you get 28. Oh man, I lost my A. And again, you have a situation where you're going to get a decimal. I don't want your decimal. Ever. So divide by 16, which goes away nicely. And then you need to think for me or use a calculator. Some calculators convert to decimals and fractions well. 28 and 16 both divide by what? 4. And so I get 7 over 4. So at that point when you're dividing, and you can check in your calculator, see, do I get a decimal? If I do, I need to simplify the fraction instead. If you want to use decimals to help you do that, that's fine. Okay, onward to, let's do number 6, and then we'll come back up and do fractions, okay? Okay, number 6. You've got a parentheses. What are you distributing on number 6? 1. So it's been a minute maybe. You are distributing a negative 1, and so we're going to distribute. That would get me negative 7m minus 3, and then bring down the rest. 16. 8. Oh, let's go ahead and distribute that one as well, yeah? So 8 minus 8m. Sorry, I did that in red. Okay, we have some like terms, for sure. So combine them. On the left side, if you want to do that first, and then I'll probably move my variables, I'll do it in separate steps. So my like terms here are 16 and negative 3. So 13 minus 7m is equal to 8 minus 8m. You do have variables on both sides, and so we don't like that. We want to get them on one side. I usually move right to left. So if I have minus 8, I would add it, plus 8m. And I now have, okay, it's 1m, or you can just put m is equal to 8. Okay, you're almost done. What's the last thing I gotta do? Minus 13. It's positive. It's out in front. To undo it, you would subtract. So then your final answer here is negative 5. If you need to use a calculator there to help you, do 8 minus 13, that's fine. But if you can do it in your head, I would rather you do that. Okay, we're not going to let the fractions bully us. If fractions are not your favorite thing in the world, you're going to be all right. It's going to be okay. You can always use a calculator to help you, which is why I would say if you do not have a calculator of your own, then I see a lot of us doing this, like pull up Desmos and use that, because it's really fraction friendly, okay? So let's look at number 5. Nothing to do on the left side, but on the right, you do have some distribution, okay? So 5, 6, W plus 21, we'll just bring down. And then if you want to use Desmos, or you can use your brain, this is 2 over 1. And so when I do 1/3 times 2 over 1, I'm multiplying straight across. So that would give me negative 1/3 times 2 is negative 2/3. Again, you're welcome to use a calculator. I'm sorry, you can't even see that. It's because I zoomed in so much. Negative 2/3 W. You can use a calculator if you need to, but if you can do it without a calculator, that would be better. And then what's 1/3 of 9? 3, yeah. So it's negative times a negative, so plus 3. And by the way, if your phone is on your desk, because your phone calculator does not handle fractions well, it doesn't do a lot of things well. Not that it's terrible, it's just not good at a lot of things. So add 2/3 W, add 2/3 W. Don't panic, okay? If you want to use a calculator, you just do 5/6 plus 2/3. It's not a big deal. Or you can get common denominators. Okay, I know 2/3 is the same thing as 4/6, which is going to give me 9/6. W plus 21 is equal to 3. Here's the thing, 9/6, we can simplify that. 3/2, is that what you're getting if you use a calculator? Yeah, I think 3/2. So we can rewrite this as, if you want to like rewrite it out yourself, you can, but 3/2. Okay, and then we'll carry on our way, okay? So minus 21, minus 21. This is a two-step equation at this point. Sorry, I ran out of room. So 3/2 is equal to 3/2 W, is equal to -18. Usually when I get to something like this, my students are like, I don't know what to do with the fraction. There's a couple ways you can do it, just because it just makes more sense in my brain. But you can do what you want. If you want to multiply by 2/3 all at once, you can. I won't. I will multiply by 2. Because I see division, I'm getting rid of the division by multiplying by 2, which will cancel out the division. You're not going to multiply 2 times 3 and get 6. So it is now 3W is equal to -36. So I undo the division, and now I will undo the multiplication by doing what? Divide. So we get -12. Okay. Okay, so big fraction, don't love it. We're going to get rid of that division by -4 right away. How do I undo division? Multiplication. So we're going to multiply by -4 right away. You're going to often see me do it like this, where I multiply it kind of out in front all at once. You are not distributing that to the top of the fraction. All it does is cancel out the division here. Okay, so you can kind of cross it out if you want, and then we are 3 times, so I call it like, those are like big fraction problems. Get rid of the big fraction first. Oh man, that's unfortunate. 60. At this point, you probably know what to do, right? Distribute, solve. There's not variables on both sides here. So can you try and finish this problem up with me and see if you can get the same thing as people around you? And also, it's a distraction. 60, 45. All right. Check that for me. Okay, so we're just going to carry on our way like we normally would with this kind of problem and see what happens. Let's see, I've got some like terms. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Maybe you got that far. You can keep going if you want. All right, if we look at number 8 and number 9, let's remember from Algebra 1. On number 8 and 9, they are similar but different. What is the difference between 8 and 9? If you talk to your table, what's the difference between them besides the fact they have different numbers and variables? Don't talk about that. There's a difference between these two. After you simplify it, what's the difference? So on number 8, we move our variables to one side. We end up with 1 is equal to 5. Is 1 equal to 5? No. What do you say? No solution. Oh, good job. Or no solutions. It just depends on what you want to say. I'm fine with no solution. And you would know that's going to happen if I see, okay, I have the same exact variable, same constant, and then different constants. Whereas here, if I move my variables to one side, you're going to see, oh, yikes, 8x plus 8x. Cancel, cancel, you're left with 40 is equal to 40. Is 40 equal to 40? Yes. Your answer is not 40. What do you call it? Really close. Yeah, infinite solutions. You could also maybe say all real numbers. I'll usually say infinite solutions, okay? What that means is that any number you plug in would work. And there's an infinite number of them that would work.